Hello, everyone. Um, some of my friends have asked that it would be nice if some of the videos could be done in English, so that more people could join it, could express their opinions about it, and it would be much interactive than just sticking to my native language in Hindi. So today I would like to discuss a very beautiful phenomena, or a very beautiful movement that is a huge part in our life, in our lives, everyone's life, I think so. And that is the movement of division. How division is so important, so embedded in our lives. So I would like to talk a little bit about it. That if we just, for example, just for a simple beginning of the video, uh, see the geographical aspect of the planet, that if we see the whole planet and there are all these different countries, and I think everyone knows. If no one does, then I can state it here, that nature, the nature itself, existence itself, doesn't or hasn't made any boundaries on the land. The geography of the planet is not divided by existence or by nature. It exists as a complete one unit, as a one organism, the whole planet. And then it is humans, or it is us, who have created these borders. And these borders have been national borders. This is my country, this is your country, this is this country, this is that country. So that division is geographically, anyone can see at a first view that how geographically division is existing. Now, the similar aspect of division could be seen if you go inside a particular country. For example, if you go to the United States of America, all states themselves don't fit together, or they don't like each other that much. Even though they are one country, but there are instances that one person of one state, or people from this state, that state, are not liking each other. Or in England, the northern England people don't like the southern England people that much. Similar effects in Italy, France, or in India, different states, one state person doesn't like this person from another state that much. So first, the division is acting nationally, that this is the border and I don't like that person, or he's a different person than me, and this is why I'm this, he's that. And then the same division comes in terms of the state, that okay, this state is this, that state is this. And if you just narrow it down more, you would see even inside the state, there would be different districts or cities which have this kind of divisions, that this city people don't like that city people. And you could even narrow it down to the city, that in a city there are regions that maybe the one region of the city, the people living in one region don't like the people living in another region. For example, there's a section in the city where all the rich people are living, and there's a section of the city where really poor people are living, and there's this gap, this division, that they don't like to visit each other's places. So this is how the whole geographically things get divided, and it happens everywhere. And this you can even see even in our families, that the division then comes to the house, from country to state to city, then to the house, that even in the house people are themselves divided. So which brings us to the point that there is division in our relationships as well. There is two brothers fighting each other, maybe for property or something else. There is husband wife trying to kill each other, or not literally, but trying to give each other a hard time. There is numerous amount of divisions even in our relationships. Of course, there are some relationships which could claim, okay, we have a really nice, perfect relationship, but we cannot ignore the divisions. They exist even in our relationship. And the similar aspect of division then we can carry out in our economics, that the division of currency, which is kind of connected to the nationality, that each nation has its own currency, and Europe has tried to unify it, which is a really nice attempt to bring euro and make whole one market. But we can see even to do that, it took us almost a long time, almost 100 years, to bring this common market to Europe, and which also shows how strong our division is, that it takes such a long time to make such a logical decision, that it's simple if everything is connected in terms of economics. So, and one last aspect I would like to bring in this is also our religious lives, that our religions are divided as well. One religion trying to kill people from another religion, which has happened numerous times in history. And even though all the religions claim that they are peaceful, but I think most of the people killed on our planet have been due to these religious reasons, in a way. Christianity has killed so many people, and just for the sake of their own religion. In the same way, every other religion, most religions, I haven't heard if Buddhism has done this or not, but except that, or a few, maybe most of these religions are kind of fighting with each other, that our way of reaching this ultimate entity, God or whatever, is right, and so please follow our method and don't follow their method or whatever. And there has been this conflict because of the division, that you are wrong, I'm right, I'm this. So our whole existence on this planet is filled with division, whether it's geographic division, whether it's division in our economies, whether it's division in our relationships, whether it's division in our religions, or any other aspect. And then if I even bring it to personal level, to a person, then even we can see easily that a person himself is divided into many pieces. If you ask a person, can you please tell me what kind of person you are? Then it becomes really difficult for this person to say, or to honestly say for someone. For example, there are instances in our days when we are really nice, happy. There are instances when we are very bitter, sad. There are instances when we are angry. There are instances when we are really miser, when we are hateful, when we are something else, and this. So all these pieces are also showing that even a human himself, psychologically, not physically, it's a one body, but psychologically himself, in our minds, we have so many pieces, so many divisions acting, and these divisions always activate one by one. Sometimes this piece is active, sometimes this piece is active, and that's what we call usually living, that one piece to another. I'm beautiful day in the beginning, nice coffee, in the afternoon some argument with someone at the office, and then in the evening the wife coming to pacify me and saying, it's fine, it will be all right, and then I feel good again. So these kinds of ups and downs, these pieces, even the human himself is in pieces. So this brings us to our question, a basic question, that why division, this movement of division, is so natural to us. Why we love it so much. That you can say that some people usually say that, okay, we are coming from the animal, and the animal likes this territorial divisions, that this is my area. You can see it in terms of dogs, lions, everyone does this. This is my area. They usually pee to show the boundary, and this is your area, and this and this and this. But then we also claim that we have done this process of evolution, which has been proved, and we have evidence of that we have evolved. And we also show this evolution when it comes to the field of science, the field of technology. We prove it really nicely that we have evolved from the animal, and we can prove it. Look at this. We have literally been on the moon, very nice, cars, airplanes, atomic bombs, everything. So from biting another animal, we have reached to atomic bomb to kill the other person, or our opponent, whoever he is. So that's a nice gradual increment and evolution, and it looks quite logical. Okay, we have evolved. But then, even if that gives the evidence of evolution, why do we still keep the animalistic instincts that were there before in us even today? So if evolution is happening, why don't we apply it in all aspects of our life? Why a person of science who logically has seen the evidence that everything in existence, all matter, comes from the same source. We have literal evidence of it from the Big Bang Theory, or the background radiation, which has been recently proved that it's all coming from the same source. Or the famous saying, we are all stardust, that in the star all elements are formed from which all matter gets formed. So even though a scientist empirically sees this logically, he has evidence of it. But the moment he leaves his scientific life and goes to his personal life, he's full of divisions. Himself and the way he acts, he suddenly becomes American, British, or whatever he is, from which country he is, even though he knows that everything is coming from the same source. But when in his personal life it comes, he loves this division. He lives this division. Or in many different ways. For example, in India, the same scientist is knowing this, that everything is coming from the same source, and in his personal life he still believes in different castes of people dividing each other. And the Western people kind of laugh at it, that hey, why these stupid people divide themselves in caste? But they are doing the same thing in terms of nationality. They are dividing themselves in terms of nationality. So the beauty of it is, like, in one aspect of life, the human is ready or capable of being super rational, and in another aspect of our life, we are rejecting to be rational at all. In one aspect, if I stand up and say, I don't like Einstein's theory, it's wrong, then no one would accept me. They would say, please bring evidence, please prove it, then only we accept it, which is highly rational to say, okay, Einstein has given enough evidence to support his hypothesis and his theories, and all his work has been supported by experimental evidence. So where is my evidence? I can say, I don't have evidence, I just don't like it, and it wouldn't work in science. So in that aspect of our fields, it wouldn't work in business. It wouldn't work in the fields of money. If you just say, I don't like this company, I will not do this. No. Everywhere we are being rational about money, in science, in technology, that yes, please give enough evidence and everything, and it happens. And the same person, when it comes to his personal life, and his parents tells him about this supernatural entity called God, and from the beginning of his life, he's been told, this is God, worship this guy, do this, do that, and he never asked any reason for that. That, hey dad, do you have any evidence for supporting this, that if there is some God or not God? How do you support that? The way we do this, the way you are teaching me how to pray to God, how to praise God, how is this method correct? Maybe this is the wrong method. Maybe the whole idea of us that we have about God is wrong. Maybe we don't know. It's all working on belief system. So in one aspect, the person is so highly rational, and in the other aspect, he just shuts all his rationality and says, I'm okay to be irrational. I'm really okay to be irrational. You understand? So why are we doing this? Why in these sections of our life where rationality could also be applied, why can't we say, okay, dad, your family members, or to anyone who is asking you to believe that, hey, why don't we just investigate it and find out if that's a fact or not? And in investigation, we can even maybe discover it more nicely. Then if we discover it and find it as a fact, we no longer have to waste our energy in this belief system, and we can improve everyone's life in such a better way, in such a beautiful way. So this constant irrationality in one aspect and not in some aspects of life, and this movement of division is so active in all of us. Now, is this the result that because a human himself is broken into pieces, is himself divided, so it's quite natural that the society he creates would also be divided? I think it follows a little logically that if a person himself is psychologically divided in so many aspects, that I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm that, then of course the society he will create will also be divided on these aspects. Which is why we easily see that the amount of energy required to send someone on the moon, the amount of research, mathematics, resources, everything is such a high amount of number, and still we managed to do that. We managed to do such beautiful wonders in medicine, and so it's all happening there. But when it comes to sitting on a table and saying, hey, let's stop this peeing effect, like a dog pees on the street, a lion pees somewhere to show his territory, we have put these borders and saying, you're different, I'm different. This is stupid. Science doesn't support it. Nobody supports it. Then why the hell do we still support it? Why can't we just remove this stupid system of division when we have no rational evidence for this division? So, but it seems quite difficult. It seems that sending someone to the moon is more easy than to solve the problem of division. So this means that the division is so embedded in our system, in our psychology, that it's really difficult to see the fact that of course we should do it. Why what's the need for all this stupidity and the amount of resources we are wasting on it? The amount of resources we are wasting on all these ammunitions. What's the need for it? All that money could be fed to feed someone, to educate our children, to go to even in the field of medicine or in the field of science, that money could go. And there is no literal rational reason to follow the animal instinct for these divisions of borders and national division. There's no need for it. We have shown that we can evolve really nicely, and we can do really nice logical, rational work. Then why can't we bring that rationality in our relationships? Why can't we bring that rationality in our religions, for example? What's stopping us? Why is it so difficult for us to do that? So maybe I feel the barrier or the dam is somewhere hidden in psychology, because in psychology we support this division. So we never let it go away in the physical aspect of life in our society. So it would be nice to maybe first be aware of this movement of division in ourselves. That if you are aware of this constant movement of division, then you can see that how you yourself are divided. And from that divided self, you create a divided society. So it naturally brings you to question everything. You don't have to be a big philosopher or something to do this. You can just see it, that why in one aspect of life we are solving problems with a click, and in the another aspect it has been years, centuries, thousands of years that we have this stupid problem of borders and physical. Why we can't solve this? Why can't two people who have the same physical biology, who have the same, who share the same consciousness, who have literally everything similar, why can't they just sit on the table and say, yes, we acknowledge the fact, the science supports the fact, the biological science supports the fact, evolution supports the fact that we are we are the same species, we are the same people, we are all same. Then why can't we solve this fact as easily we solved the fact of fighting cancer, fighting AIDS, going to Mars, or any other kind of fact, the problems of energy? We are solving those problems very easily. We are solving the problems of climate change and everything. But we can't solve a simple problem of being together, even though we know that we come from the same source. We know it not by assumption, not by belief. We know it on basis of facts that we are coming from the same. Whether you talk biologically, whether you talk from the science of physics, everything supports it. Then why this division is so natural? Why a human being gets blinded even after seeing empirical facts that there is no division? Why still this division runs in our veins? Why is it so deep in us? So it has to be deep in us, because Usually when we see an evidence for something, we change our behavior. We see, okay, gravity wasn't acting exactly how Newton predicted it. It's actually acting like Einstein is explaining it. So we change ourselves instantly the moment we see something is more logical. So, but we don't do it in the field of our relationships. We don't do it in the field of our religions or something like this. So it brings us to the question that why we love this movement of division so much. What is it giving us? More wars, more conflicts, more I don't know, all kinds of problems that we face. Last 2 months ago, a guy in the city I come from, in my home city, was killed by people from one religion because he stole some religious book of the other religion. For a book, they are ready to kill someone. You understand? So this is not rationality at all. You can't value that you value a book over life, which is living, which is actually existing. And you I don't know if you understand my point or not. So these kind of stupidities are happening because of this feeling of strong division among us, that I'm different, I'm American, you're British, I'm Estonian, you're this, you're that. This strong feeling of being divided from the other, I don't know why is it coming from? And when we have evidence, why are we not changing it? That even though we have evidence of coming from the same path and the same source, what is stopping us from changing it? In so many aspects of our life, we have changed it by seeing the truth of something. So it would be quite natural to ask this question, that why the movement of division is so dear and loving to us. It must be deeply embedded in our consciousness or in our psychology, which is why it's really difficult to get it off. So it's a big question. It's an urgent question, because the rate with which we are killing each other on these basis of these divisions, whether religious or national, it's dangerous. And now we have even more dangerous weapons to do so. Now, and if they go in the hands of wrong people, they could do really big harm. And all these people are thinking that they are doing it for the right reason. And this is all happening because they feel divided from the other. They feel that they are different from the person who is in the other country or in the other region. And that's why it's right to kill the other, because the other is a threat. The other is an enemy. You understand? So the division is all, I think it's basic law of nature that to have a conflict, to have a fight, you need two things to have a problem. If there is only one, there is nothing, there's no one else to have a problem with. There's no one else to have to fight with. So I think it's the need of the hour that we see this as a big problem, as an imminent threat to all of us. And why is this division happening? We should stop this, giving it as a gift to our children, first of all. A child, when he's born, he doesn't know. He's not divided. He's not American child. He's not British child. He's nothing. He's just a child. And then we feed all this trash into our old children, to whom we claim to be loving so much. So all this trash which has been fed, we can start by stopping that. So at least the next generations who are coming don't have this strong feeling of division in them. That we don't train our children to be divided with the other. We train them or we teach them that this is the facts are suggesting or showing clearly that we are all literally coming from same sources, and we are all just one unit as a whole planet. We are all one unit, and it will be logical to step on in that manner. It would save a lot of resources, it would save a lot of problems, it will solve a lot of problems, and it would feel more secure. The only reason we are making all these weapons is because we feel insecure of the other. But the moment we realize that we are all actually working as one unit, we are all the same species, the other human is not different from me, he is also just like me, which is so logical, so simple to feel that what I feel, everyone else is also feeling the same. So if we feel all this, then there is much bigger security. If there are no borders, there is no country to fight with. There is only all people together. There is no need to fight with anyone. There is no one available to fight. The fight only happens because of the border, because there is one and two, and they fight together. But if you remove the border, then there is just all humans, and they don't need to fight with each other. For what? It's just our division of our psychology, it's our conscious divisions which are making us fight with the other, which give us this strong feeling of that I'm different from the other. So if we kind of observe this phenomena, this movement of division in our consciousness, and anyone can do it in their everyday life, just observe it when you're working, observe when it gets activated, when you do an action on the basis of division, when you do an action as a nationalist, when you do an action as being of a particular religion or as of a particular caste or anything. Be aware of that action and then see how that action is actually creating problems, because the moment you raise your flag as a national A, the other is naturally bound to raise his flag as a nation B, and then the fight begins. So it's just obvious, common, logical, and rational to bring an end to this movement of division in our consciousness and also in our society, to have better relationships with everyone, to have better life for everyone, to have a better future for everyone, to have better everything for everyone. If this division is gone, we save such a huge amount of resources for, like, literally everyone could live really peacefully, and then we could be more directed as one unit to our future goals, whether it be surviving for a longer time, shifting to a new planet, whatever is the goal. But when you're together, you do it with a much bigger intensity and with the much bigger security inside of you, that no one is threatening you. So now you're more easy when you're not threatened for your life. Your mind, your brain feels more secure, and it works better. You never function nicely when someone has a gun pointed on your head. You are scared. In the state of fear, brain doesn't work in its efficiency as it does in a calm state when it has everything sorted out. So in this video, I just wanted to bring this up to everyone. If anyone has some suggestion or something, please mention in the comments. If you agree, disagree, or something, please mention in the comments and we can discuss it. And whoever gave their time for listening to it, thank you very much for giving your time. It's in this busy world of making money and killing each other, it's really difficult to give time for something which is like this, that bringing everything together, which literally no one wants, because everyone wants their own profit. So let's end the video here, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you.